28-year-old Travis Alexander was a devout Mormon and a well-known motivational speaker. So who would want this excelling young businessman dead? Well, up until now, family and friends had no idea.
He's just a guy everyone liked. He was easy to get along with. If you talked with him for 2 minutes, you just liked him.
After a big break in the case, detectives are now pointing the finger at this woman, 28-year-old Jodi Arias, a former girlfriend.
Spooky Nights here again, and today we're going to be bringing you a video that's a little bit different from what we usually do. Today we're going to be visiting one of the most infamous murder locations that has ever happened in our state.
We're going to be seeing the house where Travis Alexander was murdered at the hands of Jodi Arias.
Now we mean absolutely no disrespect by visiting this location where Travis Alexander was murdered.
We just want to document an important part of Arizona's criminal history.
Honestly, who knows how long these places will be here for, but we just want to document all our respect to the victim and their family and what happened here, and to the current family that is living here. So I originally didn't know that this even happened in AZ, did you?
No, even though the case was super popular throughout social media, I had no idea.
It was one of those things that caught me really off guard, and as soon as I knew about where it took place, I was like, we gotta visit this place. I will say, we are gonna kind of give like a Cliff Notes version of this, but if you want a full explanation of what happened between Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander, check out the Mile Higher podcast. They did an excellent version of the story on their podcast, so if you want to learn more, definitely head over there and give their video/podcast a watch. So before we show you the location of where this horrific crime happened, I kind of want to give a little bit of backstory of what exactly happened with Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander. So something that will become important later on in this story is that Jodi, at a very young age, got really heavily into photography. She would just photograph everywhere that she went. She had countless of photos on her MySpace account. She genuinely never went anywhere without a camera. She was always taking photos of everything. This will become very important later on. So when Jodi first met Travis Alexander, it was actually at a prepaid legal services conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. So after they met, they started dating long distance because Travis lived in Mesa, Arizona, while Jodi lived in California at the time.
The relationship actually only lasted 5 months at the time. When Travis broke it off, he found someone new, and when Jodi found out about that, she slashed his tires.
Not once, but twice. Which, if that doesn't give you major crazy vibes, I don't know what will. So even though Travis had ended the relationship, they still continued their physical relationship because Jodi was very seductive in that kind of way. At the time, Travis was continuing to see other people, and this didn't sit well with Jodi at all. So on June 2nd, she drove from her California home to Mesa, Arizona, where she met up with Travis at his home, and reportedly, that's where Travis, unfortunately, let her in to his house.
After Jodi was invited in by Travis, they did engage in sexual intercourse, which led them to go into the shower together, where the unthinkable happened.
So after this point, Travis's friends hadn't heard from him in quite some time, and they were supposed to go on a vacation or business trip to Cancun. And since they weren't hearing from him, they decided to pay him a visit at his house, where they discovered a pretty grisly scene.
His friends that found him, when they tried going to the house, his bedroom was actually locked, so they found some kind of way in. They found Travis in the bathroom, stabbed 27 times, shot once in the head, and his throat was slit.
From year to year. So obviously after this, his friends called 911. There's actually a recording of the 911 call, and you can hear panic and disbelief on their voices, and it's actually kind of heartbreaking.
What's going on?
A friend of ours is dead in his bedroom. We hadn't heard from him for a while. We think he's dead. His roommate just went in there and said there's lots of blood. I didn't go in, but I can give you the phone to someone who went in there.
Yes, please, can you?
Hello.
Hi, so what's going on?
He's dead. He's in his bedroom.
Okay.
In the shower.
Has he been threatened by anyone recently?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
He has an ex-girlfriend that's been bothering him and following him and slashing tires and things like that.
So when investigators arrived at the home, they found his body, which was partially mummified, and they found a camera inside of the washing machine. Now this camera was pretty much destroyed, but they were able to regain access to the photos that were on this memory card. And when they did, they found several photos of Jodi and Travis together at his house, which puts Jodi directly at the crime scene. Now one of these photos is one of the most infamous photos. In this photo, it depicts the last moments that Travis was alive. And when you see that photo, it's kind of haunting because you don't know what he's thinking. Whether he knows these are his final moments, whether he just looks scared, whether he's confused, he doesn't know what's going on. It is definitely one of the more haunting photos out there of someone's last moments. So right now, we are walking to the house that Travis was staying at when Jodi decided to come pay him a visit and ultimately ended his life. Now, we're not going to go directly in front of the house because frankly, we kind of don't want to disturb the residents who are living there currently. But that house in the center of your screen is the house that Travis Alexander was staying at and where he was ultimately killed. Kind of crazy being here, honestly. It's a little surreal being here and knowing that such a horrific event took place in that house right there. To think about all the crazy stuff that went down in that house. I don't know, it's kind of heavy.
It's just a reminder that a lot of places that you wouldn't expect have history like that. Because we're just at a chill little park right now, but down the street a murder like that happened.
It really does go to show that this kind of stuff can happen anywhere, even in nice neighborhoods like this one. But a couple of facts about the trial of Jodi Arias. She was ultimately convicted and she narrowly escaped the death sentence. Her trial has got to be one of the weirdest trials that has ever happened in the history of the United States. She constantly kept changing her story. She kept saying that, oh no, people came in and murdered Travis. Oh no, I actually killed him in self-defense. And she just constantly kept changing her story. But when Jodi was first arrested, there's a really weird video of her acting super strange in an interrogation room. She's doing headstands and just talking to herself and singing to herself. And this is right after they told her, you're being arrested for the murder of Travis Alexander.
Still beating. It might change my memory.
So, the gun she used to shoot Travis with actually belonged to her grandparents, which she stole from their California home and brought it all the way to Mesa, Arizona with her.
Also, her stabbing him 27 times, shooting him in the head, slashing his throat, kind of tells you that she wanted to make sure Travis was dead. I don't know. If that doesn't say premeditated murder, I don't know what does. So again, we absolutely mean no disrespect to Travis or his family members or anyone that suffered because of his death. We want to give our sincerest respects to Travis and his family. He definitely did not deserve what happened to him. But with that being said, guys, this has been Spooky Nights. Like I've said before, this is very much a different video. This is our first, I guess, true crime murder location video. We might not do too many of these, but we thought that we should do this one. It is part of our state's dark history when it comes to this kind of stuff.
We hope you guys enjoyed this little video. With that being said, this has been Spooky Nights. I'm Lisette.
And I'm Rye, and hopefully we will see you guys on the next Spooky Nights video.
Peace out.
Peace out, guys.
The State of Arizona versus Jodi Arias, verdict, count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn, in the above entitled action, upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder, guilty. 5 jurors find premeditated, 0 find felony murder, 7 find both premeditated and felony.